Hi
Hello,
guys,
people.
I'm Milena,
Lola.
and we're watching the last episode of the most heartbreaking season of this show.
Of any show. What do you mean this
Yeah.
show? Of any show ever created. Like,
Yeah.
this takes the cake for anything.
Was this worse to you than Band of
I
Brothers?
don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
In some ways it is. In some ways it isn't. Like, I mean, I will never forget the absolute horror of episode 9 of Band of Brothers. It is so, like, immediate. It is so heartbreakingly awful. But, like, this show like this, I feel like this happens on a day-to-day basis to so many kids. And, like, it's a never-ending thing. And it feels so helpless.
I agree,
And so like that part in a way makes it worse, but I mean I don't know.
I agree. I just think it was again completely different experience. But I think the Band of Brothers for me was completely different experience than anything I have ever watched.
Yeah.
I think Band of Brothers for me was in some ways worse. Again, I don't know. I am hoping to feel any type of hopeful ending for anything that's gonna happen in this episode. I have also read comments that for many people the episode 9 is like the 12 is the hardest episode they have ever seen.
Thank
you
God.
know, like of the whole show, not just the season. And like honestly, I'm hoping for that, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
Because for me, episode 12 was really something else.
Yeah.
Like for many characters, I have felt so many emotions. Like the difference between, let's say, Band of Brothers and this one, I am very emotionally connected with these children, and it's different because they are children. It was harder, Band of Brothers. Let's say episode 9, it was horrifying.
No,
it was
like
nothing can compare to that, and I don't think it ever will.
Yeah.
Like while I watched it, I will regret it every moment of watching it, literally.
Yeah.
With this it's different, but like I care more, let's say, for these kids than I have ever cared for anybody in Band of Brothers. I don't know, it's different. It doesn't even matter. That doesn't have to be really compared.
You don't need to compare tragedies.
Of course. But like I am just hoping at the end of this episode to feel any type of warmth in my heart, because I'm sick and honestly I can't take it, nor do I want to take it. You know
I
what
don't
mean?
think I'm not so optimistic to think that I can feel warmth. I just hope that I feel at least some type of calmness for something, you know? Like that I can feel some type of acceptance for something if something happens in a nice way. You know, like that's I feel like the most that I
think
can get.
No, I think if Bunny, let's say, fosters Namond, I'm definitely gonna feel warmth.
Yeah.
Like again, it's not gonna diminish the tragedy of maybe other kids.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I can feel happy or warmth or anything for one child. It has nothing to do with the other child, you know?
Yeah.
And like if that happens in this episode, and I really expect it, especially after the previous one, I am hoping that like I'm gonna see that, like I'm gonna feel that. So.
Yeah. I think we talked about what we think is gonna happen. Like, is there still potential of Bodie or Omar dying in this episode? I think there is. Is there potential of Bob's trying to kill himself? I think there is.
Yeah, definitely, all of that.
Yeah.
Like again, in the last episode, we didn't have Bodie at all, where we had so much of Omar. So I don't know if that changes anything. I still have the same opinion that I don't feel Omar's storyline is finished, where I somehow can see Bodie's storyline. If they want to finish it, they can. I don't want to see that happening, but like that is bigger tragedy to me than like if Bodie dies. But like I don't know if that's gonna happen. I am honestly not so 100% confident about either one of them.
No,
like I'm not like one can happen, both can happen. I don't think both.
I don't know. Like those are all the things that can be happening. This is gonna be a long episode, and we unfortunately don't have that much time. We have like from now we have like 2 hours. So like that's very short for the amount of time we spend speaking.
Yeah.
So I think let's just see, guys. This is it for this season.
Yeah.
This season lasted years, if anyone asks me. I felt like every episode too much.
Yes.
So let's play this last one.
And there is only one Lord of the Ring.
I'm not gonna even comment on this at this point. Like, it's so disappointing. What is the name of the episode?
And Bodie's in the picture.
Why is Bodie in the picture? Why would you put him in the picture? Why? You can't make me do that. You cannot make me do that. That's really cruel to me as a person.
And you sit here doing what exactly? A hot shot, maybe. I got a sack in the boxes. He owns one from a couple days ago. Is everybody on a crusade to make more murders out of bullshit?
The man's confessing, Jay. He walked up to the Western desk to do it.
Well, at least when you go to manufacturing a murder, Eddie, you already have a suspect in hand.
So Bubs is just
what?
Confessing?
Others might learn.
What?
To the state in box number 1.
If I'm understanding, he said like he has like a case of like hot shots.
So he signed that.
Yeah.
You're telling me we do a full tox screen on this kid. He comes back positive for cyanide. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, okay? You need to lock me up. I killed that boy. I did.
They're not maybe even gonna believe him or something.
Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care that a kid from the street is gonna be fucking dead. They don't care enough to even do an autopsy.
Yeah, but it's like he is failing at everything. He failed at every single thing in his life where he tried to be better and things like that. Now he confessed to police and he's gonna fail at like...
He's not even gonna get arrested because they're incompetent.
Get up there! Come on, come on, come on! Give me a sack!
This is how they started the episode. Is it too late to stop this show?
Literally, I'm already tired.
Is it too late to just like not watch this?
Can't wait the next season, honestly. But I'm gonna miss these kids. I'm gonna miss these kids so much. Do you know whose storylines I'm interested if they're gonna maybe potentially continue of the kids? The little kid that Michael beat up. Kennard.
You think there's gonna be a story?
Maybe.
Maybe he's gonna be like, we're gonna go like, 15 years in the future and he's like new Marlo.
That's what I thought, honestly. It crossed my mind because, I don't know if it's dumb, but like it crossed my mind because he survived, we already see how he is and how much he is in this life at the age of 10, 9, I don't know. And what he survived now with all this beating and God knows what in future. Like, what did it say? If animal trapped?
Oh, the thing that's always on the doors, but that always reminds me of Wallace because his door had that.
Which reminds you of Bodie.
Yeah, which reminds me of everything.
They came back on.
Really, what do we have? What evidence do we have? Are they using a school for like? We have so much bodies that we're using like a gym.
He brings his case in. He'll be closer to the throne.
Who cares? For the love of God.
As are you.
What do you need from me?
Perfect. I'm serious. Get hold of him.
I'm with you, girl. Why would we do that? Who fucking cares? Let him rot somewhere.
The horse to be for you, himself.
The fuck are you going?
Kind of a fella brings up a hot shot, then walks into a police station to talk about it. Huh? What's that?
Hot shot was for this motherfucker the meeting on me. Child had no one for him. No mother, no family. Like I ain't who I am, right? Like I'm pretending I ain't been a dope fiend my whole damn life. Just lock me up, man. I killed that child.
Let's throw this one back. Sad-ass motherfucker's carrying more weight than we'll ever put on him.
What about the clearance?
Fuck the clearance.
Cut him loose. Which one of your people was in charge of the stash?
None of your
I want to
business.
talk to him.
My nephew. My sister's boy.
Why would you say
Can't
that?
get him up like that. My connect had people there when the shit went down. That's what you need to make you believe? You can hear it straight from him.
You anybody ask about me on another job? Tell him Kimmy been retired. Alright? Easy.
It'll be probably that's the rest of my life. I'm gonna put that out on the street.
Rest of your life. What is that time period?
Stole 2 more to the damn time.
You could come get Joe, Cole. Over the sell shit back to 20 cents on the dollar. Joe wanna find some humor in that. I know you do.
I understand there's a waiting list. The thing is, this kid has already been in a foster home. No.
A waiting list to get to another foster
Is there a
home.
supervisor that I can talk to?
So, either you come up with a guardian or you go to social services. There are two ways about it.
Hello? Hello?
Disgusting.
Need your help. Get dressed.
Disgusting.
Pending a full trial board.
Suspended with pay, as they always are.
Fuck
Just
the thing.
chilling at home.
This here's
Getting fucking paid.
and I'm asking if you police.
He's not.
No, what
I
are
mean,
you-
no. He is.
yeah.
He is. What the fuck are we talking about?
You can enter the house, but if you find a body, do not disturb the crime scene.
Oh my god, look how many bodies they're gonna
Oh, what I
find.
don't know.
You sure we on the right block?
Yeah,
Oh, this is where
put
he.
him on the curb right here, more or less.
And then you find the nail gun in the asphalt, right where they sat.
Yeah, right next to the little girl's leg. So who tells these
I forgot that he did
Stop running through my
that.
paperwork looking for who the fuck cares?
You, girl, what'd you get? What'd you get? You,
Yeah, it looks like it could be. That about right?
but like, did you get out? There's nothing in there.
There is nothing. How can the nail gun get into the...
Can you like measure the width and the
Something.
length and like if it matches, at least
Took
it's
the nails to
something?
ballistics. Rivera said he can match anything out of that gun.
I mean, I know they're gonna take my stripes.
Oh my god.
They're gonna go past that, right?
Herb, what'd you do exactly?
Sorry, I don't mean to bother y'all, but I don't give a full chance.
That's all you get.
Who want the man over there?
He has insurance. His insurance pays for his cable hook. Only reason you're admitted is that fracture. You gangsters wash up in our ER like you should do. You could stand out there slinging drugs till you get shot or cut.
Gangster, huh?
Oh, you're not that? I pulled your admissions. You were here in 90 for a gunshot. And 2
90.
years before that,
I mean, that's soon for them.
Long time back, yeah.
so you're still at it.
Since when?
Who are you to come and judge here? What exactly is your position here?
But now I'm a bit of a teacher of the Tillman.
I love this man with all my.
problem, and we know Carver over to Western. He said that you might be able to help me.
Oh, like what? We put Randy with
Who
you?
is that I'm supposed to know about?
Oh, can we do that?
Name it, Bryce.
Name it.
What's the problem? I just come to care about the kid.
You heard his little cat. Saying one of the police step out the house.
I don't wanna see you now. I don't wanna see you in this episode. Boy, don't do anything.
Nigga kill motherfuckers just cause he can. Not cause they snitching. Not cause it's business. But cause this shit just comes natural. No, Bodie, man. I mean, Lil Kevin is gone. This nigga don't feel nothing. And all the motherfuckers in them row houses, nobody in a fucking thing to him. You need to calm the fuck down. Fuck Marlo, man. Fuck.
Oh, he's dead.
And anybody that think it's alright to do people this way. Like a nigga ain't.
Honestly, I'm kind of all for him getting arrested.
Yeah, but
But,
like-
but no, but then I can kill him in jail.
How flattering for us. He knocks the school deficit right off the front pages. There's your silver lining right there.
Those bodies are on Royce.
School deficit should be too. Should be, but that's a problem that's going to play out in the next fiscal year. By then you're out of Teflon. 2 years from now, if you're governor, you can help the city from Annapolis.
He's the mayor
Exactly.
now. I agree. We can't fix the city schools, but we can't let them get any worse either. Go back to Annapolis. Eat his shit. If we lose local control of the schools in the east, and the teachers will rip you. But the rest of the city will see you did it for them kids.
Kids don't vote.
Hi.
I really wonder what decision Carcetti is gonna make. It's gonna be a shocking one, I'm sure.
Dang, look what this nigga come to.
Easy, son.
What? I cannot believe you're doing this, my boy. I like how this episode is going. Bodie and him might die both. Both of you.
Why you boys in here burning that all after hours?
Nigga, I'm gonna kill you twice.
Oh,
I just I kind of feel like everyone secretly likes Omar a bit.
I feel like
You know, I just feel like
just so happened I got some heroin for sale. Market wise, you fellas look like bodies, Phil.
do you not think that's bad? When I hear TikTok, it like sounds to me like time's ticking for his life. You know what I mean?
I'll help the schools, help the city a lot more if I'm governor 2 years from now.
And when you become governor, you would help it more if you're whatever's above the governor. And then whatever's above that, until you
Are
come
you
present,
asking me
sure.
what I think? I think you'll do the right thing.
For who? For who? For him or for the kids?
Exactly.
Because I can tell you right now what that's gonna be. Where are we walking to, my boy? I don't know. He like Michael offered him.
I know.
Sweet boy. Are we back, boy? What are we doing?
Got Marlo to sign off and get a friendly ASA.
He kicks out a radio car window and you want to give him a walk?
But like if he walks,
I
why
shut
did
up.
he walk?
Vacuum the room?
Yes.
We'll go for blood.
13 on West Side, Baltimore to Winchester.
Oh, my boy, what are we doing? Are we getting
These
curious?
boys found 4 more houses on Monument Street.
East side.
Yeah, that threw us.
You know, if I was police, I don't think I could lean back on it. You? Not if I was real police. Thank you, Detective.
Stop trying to rope my boy in.
He's so cute.
I adore him with all.
Oh my god, high school.
How's he going to high school in the middle of the semester? He has no friends. He has no one to protect him. He's just gonna leave.
He's just gonna leave.
Calvin, you done already?
Yeah, I'm done.
Nothing wrong with owning a power tool. What's the PC on Chris and Snoop specifically?
That's true. What is it?
Witness. The boy who was told by a co-conspirator who the murderer was.
The boy is a source. He's
Yeah.
not a witness.
He's just a source. You don't have enough.
With the links that we got between some of these bodies at Stanfield and his organization, we have a pattern.
Weak.
Give me an hour.
I'm very concerned for Bodie.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Yeah, guess what? If I say so, he willing to sit and hear you out. What you asking him for? I don't know. Good luck, though. You see my man Carver again? You tell him he owe me one now.
Y'all coming back for the war? The roughneck. Give him 232.
Your job is to heal people.
Program for kids. You gotta sell chef trying to pull a kid off the corner.
Oh, this is a lesson for your girl in judging.
I'll face the fact that you never spoke at all.
Word from the need that a man named Chris and a girl named Lisa, Snoop or some such, took my son and killed him.
Why can't you just make an exception in this case and move his name to the top of the list? See that he gets another foster parent.
The list is the list. Some clients have been in group homes for years.
He was in group homes for years. Now he's got to go back because...
Please don't raise your voice. If you're going to raise your voices,
Oh.
But like, you know, like put him at top of the list. What about all the other kids that also want, like, you can't, what do you do there?
How about if I take him
What?
as a foster parent?
the screening process takes 3 to 4 months. This child can't be in your custody, Sergeant. He needs
Why
to
not?
come back under our supervision per the juvenile order.
Can you
But
speed
like,
that up?
but like
Can you
Bonnie,
speed that up?
Bonnie can't do it either then.
It has to be. We're gonna speed that up.
Oh, we're
Speed
gonna
the
get
process.
nothing.
Come on, of all the things, that's gonna be the problem.
How, like, are they gonna blame this on Bodie? Are they gonna think that Bodie is... That thing up, it opens. Arrest both of them immediately.
Lady, no doubt.
That's not gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen this season.
on.
Nothing is gonna happen this
Come
season.
on, it's right there. What are you looking at, girl? Look again.
Girl, you were smart.
Get past and just punch it.
Ah, do that on that. Do that on...
Come on, so close. Come on.
I go, what is that? Kima, my girl. But it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be enough.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're not from.
But I need to hear from you.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Oh!
not my affair. This is what y'all said. I'm only here right now. So I trust, I respect. I worked with for many years. You I do not know. And I don't need to know.
I can't believe us.
How am I supposed to know this ain't no setup?
I talked to my driver. I looked into his soul.
Marlo seems like child play next to the Greeks. Like I need to like
Yeah,
take him down a
definitely.
peg or two. I was gonna say Chris and Snoop are going to jail. If they think Bodie is the one, what if Michael kills Bodie? That is gonna be a real full circle moment for me. Bodie killed Wallace, Michael kills Bodie. I really could only laugh.
Chris is Snoop just been popped. We'll follow him right there.
He thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's the fucking shit. These are like human traffickers, you know what I mean?
Hi,
You, why don't talk to him? Don't talk to him, even though I would be like exactly like you would want to speak to him because I adore him, but...
You think that charge gets dropped without somebody showing you some special love?
I love you so much for caring for
Jimmy!
him. I care for him as well, but it's gonna get him killed.
What is this? What is this?
He's gonna see him.
What's this?
He's gonna see him with Jimmy. He's gonna see him with Jimmy. He's gonna...
Court order. We get blood in the hair.
14 head hairs, 14 body hairs,
My boo.
2 blood samples each.
I'm gonna kill all of them.
My boo.
I'm gonna
You
kill
wanna
all
pause?
of them.
I ain't no snitch.
When they kill him, Jimmy's coming back. Jimmy's gonna go murder Marlo.
I ain't never said nothing to no cop. I've been out there since I was 13. I ain't never fucked up a count, never stole off a package, never did some shit that I wasn't told to do. I've been straight up. But what comes back? You think if I get jammed up on some shit, they'd be like, all right, yeah, Bodie been there. Bodie ain't tough. We got his pay lawyer, we got a bail. They want me to stand with him, right? So where the fuck they at when they supposed to be standing by us? I mean, when shit goes bad and it's hell to pay, where they at? This game is rigged, man. Be like the little bitches on the chessboard.
Pawns.
What he taught them.
Yo, I'm not snitching on none of my boys. Not my corner, not no Barksdale people. But what's left of them. But Marlo, this nigga and his kind, man, they gotta fall. They got him.
For that to happen, somebody's got to step up.
I do what I gotta. I don't give a fuck. Just don't ask me to live on my fucking knees, you know?
You're a soldier, Bodie.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is happening to me. That was really...
What?
Fuck you. Hate you. Get away from me.
Used to be a roll-up on piss.
Can he, like, sign off on...
He came up with CBS.
Calvin Baker Stricker. I ain't a cop now, right? Like I told Cuddy, I'm sort of like a teacher now. And that's how I come to know name.
The only reason I'm even here is Cuddy spoke for you.
He said what I'm asking. Your boy is smart and funny and open-hearted. And he got some flex in him. And I ain't see it at first because he was always acting out. Always full of a corner talk. You know, just talking shit to hide himself. But he could go a lot of places and do a lot of things in his life. Be out there in the world in a way that, you know, didn't happen for you and me. I mean, the West Side, we know. It's dead, man. You know, people in the game nowadays, I mean, it's a whole different breed. No code, no family. Damn sure no respect. When you send naming out on the corner now, giving them maybe 1, 2 years before you down the north.
Maybe, maybe not. That's the game.
I'm talking about naming him, Mr. Price. He's a lot of things. A lot of good things. I mean, before you know, he might surprise all of us giving half a chance. But he ain't made for them corners, man. It's in your hand, man.
You're asking too much.
Don't ask.
Sure, with the boy Bodie.
Man, I seen him come from out of Central Bookings for on Eagle Street side. Then he got some car with some white dude. Police?
Yeah, we can't have nobody snitching on us now.
We ain't sure it's that.
But you want to let him go? Send a message. Maybe give it to the pub, give him something. And you'll sure gotta lay low till the shit hit blow down.
Boy worked for Bodie. First time must be someone he ain't know.
Uh-huh.
Damn, man. Thought you forgot about me.
Wait outside, huh?
You have to give me
You
one.
forgot about me.
You have to give me one.
Because the way I think, We're back with his mom by tomorrow.
No, it's not. Who is this?
I can't see. Spider, what's the count? I don't even think we're gonna sell out today, man.
I love you so much.
Yo, Bodie.
Is this Chris? Yeah.
Yo, Bodie, you better work, yo. Yo, this is my corner. I ain't running nowhere. Bodie, is you crazy? Come on, man.
I'll pause.
Yo, where you get that ring from? Took it from a nigga. Why, you want it? Nah, you keep it, shorty.
He took it from the cop.
Who took it from?
First, we won't give you the corner up on pacing. Used to be Bodie's old corner. Now it's yours. Crew that up, run that shit. Then we got this other thing.
Not like that. McNulty! Hey. You were 412, right? You heard about Bodie?
What about?
Bodie, come on, pacing.
Yeah, what?
Shot dead on his corner. Midnight shift caught it. Check the radar.
Sergeant, get your ass in here!
You called the
Yeah, he's going back.
Shipped him out. That's an order. Lieutenant.
I ruined them, boy.
I got $235 if it helps. How would that help? I didn't even get a foster spell like that. Pay somebody.
I would kidnap him. I would kidnap him or think he just ran away, can't find him.
These would be the children left behind, so to speak.
Yeah, but as it is, we're leaving them all behind anyway. We just don't want to admit it.
What? You fucking assholes. No child left behind.
Seems like every time I put my mouth in this town, I'm telling people something they don't want to know.
You, it's the process. We get the grant. We study the problem. We propose solutions. If they listen, they listen. If they don't, it still makes for great research. What we publish on this is going to get a lot of attention.
From who?
From other researchers, academics.
Academics? Well, they gonna study your study.
What about the kids?
When did this shit change?
You ain't gonna take my son away from me. Not for this.
Remember who the fuck you talking to right here. Remember who I am. My word is still my word. Man, come down here to say my son could be anything he damn please.
Except a soldier.
You know, it's like
Yeah, well, look at me up in here. Who the fuck would want to be that if they could be anything else, Yolanda?
Imagine how bad she must be for me to agree with him.
Literally.
For your bank?
For your pain, Butch. I be my own bank now.
You stole this much. This ain't over.
You left it on the table. Smoke son of a bitch. He was gonna make me beg and call a press conference so the world could see me on my knees. Don't worry. 2 years. I can pay.
Boys indicted. Go on, get him. Sit your motherfucker on the wall.
Sorry about Bodie.
I ain't jacking you up. I'm trying to do right for your boy. Who dropped him?
Y'all did. They took him out because he was talking to y'all. Word is they seen him with the police down at Central Booking. So cuff me or kick my ass off this corner before you do me the same. Hey, Duquan.
Oh.
Don't you need to be at Douglas? I'm on my way there. Yeah. Where's your book bag? It's a present. For you did. It's for your desk. That's great, Duquan. Thanks. Stop past any time. Let me know how it's going with it. Okay.
I just feel like I owe it now. This kid, one kid, getting ready to turn him, you know? Pack him up and give him the last year's present.
You one of the bodies in the houses?
No, they dropped him in the street. It gotta be different, you know? Drinking in the morning, with anger.
It's okay.
What?
You tried. No need to feel bad. Thanks.
What is it?
Alright, ready this way.
Are you sure? I'm not asking because I can't use you. I'm asking for your sake.
I think I can do this and keep myself away from myself.
Maybe you do this fast and clean and simple. Then you don't do it at all. Chain of command, Colonel.
You believe the numbers?
38% proficient. 8% advanced. What?
Proficient means they're at least 2 grades below their level. Advanced can mean they're at grade level or a year below. They score 'em like that, and they say we're making progress.
Good to have you back with us.
Yeah, your worst nightmare come right back on you. It's like, no, I'm just born.
Everyone open to 121. Who figured out the first problem? Kareem?
164?
Correct. How'd you get it?
Don't know.
Come, show us.
Colonel, how you happen to pick this place for us to stage?
Remember? They closed it a few years back and I knew it was near a lot of my crime scenes. I went to school here. Back in the day. Got a decent education now that I think on it.
This is really not funny anymore. How is this still going? So funny. It has not been for 70 minutes.
You trying to talk to him?
Didn't know what to say. Only heard from my sergeant this morning. Guess I missed the 24 they wrote on it.
And he really tried to do himself. It wasn't just for show or nothing. Shame's some tricky shit, ain't it? Makes you feel like you want to change and then beat you back down when you think you can't.
When was the last time y'all talked?
More than a couple of years since he last got on the wagon, I think.
Do we know him again? I don't remember.
I don't think we know him, but like I guess we're gonna meet him now. I think maybe he's gonna help us somehow.
Okay.
You coming?
Maybe later.
Can't believe you leave that money on the table.
Why not?
School, kids.
You ain't done enough of this here, I suppose. They always just
Closer you get, the more you look.
You can look him in the eye now.
matter who he is or where he comes, you look him right in the eye.
Is it over?
And
Literally
for the love of God, this has been too much.
You don't have to.
Whoever said 12 is easier than 13 lied straight to my face.
I disagree. I think they're just different ways. We had to make a bit of a break, but honestly, we don't have much time.
I think we have like maybe 20 minutes to talk, and like you can't give this episode 20 minutes.
Yeah, honestly.
Nor am I in the like mind space. Like if I start talking about it, I start crying.
And I honestly think this episode and the whole season in general, even though we talked about every single episode for an hour, but like I really think this episode at least deserves a good review, or at least well thought of, or whatever.
And that is not what we can give you now.
So honestly, we're gonna film the review. I mean,
after you come back.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, give it 5 seconds, it's going into the review. But if you're watching this on Patreon, I'm gonna, like, post this without the review.
Yeah, first. So.
Yeah, so this is what you get, guys. This is what you get. I feel like no one expected anything from I feel like no one could expect. This is the worst episode that could have happened to me. Like, honestly, Bodie. I get fucking Bodie.
I think Bodie killed you.
Yeah,
I think before he died.
No, I think that's
he started bawling out.
Yeah, like that. My heart went there. Like that scene with Jimmy and him.
Yeah,
that was the worst in my life. He's saying I feel old. See, like this is why we can't do the review now because I can't talk about it. This was great in the worst possible way. This whole season. So I guess we're gonna tell you why it was so horrible later.
Time. The coffee got cold.
Because it took us 7 days to film the review.
It's not our fault. It's Attack on Titan's fault. We said it before Hunter x Hunter, but like you're gonna see this before Hunter x Hunter.
This is the first thing you're gonna see.
Yeah.
When? Today?
Today.
I'm gonna have to edit today?
Yes.
How does the Attack on Titan bit?
I'm gonna edit the Attack on Titan again today. I don't know.
We planned to film this on a Monday, like when Milena came back. The day that we were gonna film Attack on Titan, we were gonna also film this. That was not a thing.
We managed to film intro of Attack on Titan and Attack on Titan, and the first 2 hours were gossiping. So.
Well, Milena was gone for days. Like we can't just like we're friends first and foremost. You know, this is not a business relationship. You know, we're not like, oh, come here, sit down, film. You know,
talk.
No,
you know,
no. This is why this channel works. Otherwise, there would always be a possibility of like disbanding, I think, you know?
Yes,
Like that would be
yes.
that would
Which
be
one wants
more money or something.
or yes, more fame or
Yes, I know. Remember, like we were having to open up a like firm or something, you know, for tax purposes and everything with like YouTube. Like our accountant or whatever she was like, well, like you should sign something because like things can get tricky or whatever. Like someone wants more money, we're like, we're good.
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
Yeah.
Neither one of us is that person.
Yeah. Nowadays everybody's like, you should have done that.
Like that would have been smarter, I guess.
Smarter.
No.
No.
No, we're not business women. We're friends. We're just living life. Girls.
What is happening?
I'm so tired from speaking, guys. Like this has been a rough.
And the first thing we have to film now is not a new episode, you know. We have to again talk because... And yesterday we talked for 4 hours. But like that was the last episode of the show.
Yeah.
One of our favorite shows. But this time we're filming the review of one of our favorite seasons.
Of anything.
Yes.
And like that sounds like a masochistic thing to say because how could this... How, like, this brought me...
I mean, this was one of the best
so
seasons,
much pain.
let's say. This is definitely one of the best seasons, like, I have watched.
Definitely most important ones.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember watching anything more important.
Yeah. And honestly, I am just happy
This is what I mean.
how they concluded the story.
Satisfied.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Learn some new words every day.
I think you knew this word.
I think I knew it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a perfect season. Just like from the very get-go, from the premise, from everything. I thought it was like...
Bodie died. Remember?
What is wrong with it?
I don't know.
Like, guys, it is a good thing. We have watched The Wire and Attack on Titan in the span of like a week, let's say. But like... Those 2 days that we watched The Wire finale and Attack on Titan, I think there is no more tears for me for next like month. I feel like the capacity for me crying is gone. Otherwise, I feel like I would have sobbed throughout this review at this point. But like, no tears left.
Yeah.
Nothing could like now bring me to tears at this point. It's so
but
gone.
like I also think depending on where the season goes, but like again, what I expect this season is to be something completely new. Honestly, I now expect it to be something connected to Newsroom. Again, it doesn't really have to be.
I think.
Did somebody say something?
No. But like I remembered, maybe someone mentioned it again in passing about like the creators of the show.
Mm-hmm.
One is a former journalist in Baltimore. And the other one is a former cop turned teacher.
Really fucking interesting.
That is like
fucking
that was
interesting.
I mean, that's why this hits.
Yes.
Like this is why it is again like this show more than any other show feels like a documentary.
We said it millions of times, but honestly, it's just true, and every season proves that more and more.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, okay, now I definitely expect it to be... I really do expect, because like I've been thinking a lot about what could it
I
be.
cannot
and it
remember.
Has to
Milena's memory is like... I mean, I don't have a bad memory, but like these things you would forget. Like if someone mentioned something happened in the show, I don't think you would necessarily remember. And like your brother mentioned that like 7 years ago. I cannot believe that you have carried that and still remember what your brother said to you 7 years ago in passing.
Yes, I
cannot believe that you remember.
I just remember the sentence when I talked to him about Wire, and I said, "Oh, is it gonna be about drug the entire time and like crime and things like that?" And he's like, each season is very different than the. And my brother now does not remember, and he watched the show, and trust me, I showed him kids. He's like, I don't remember that at all.
I find it fascinating how he watches shows. But like I think that's how like maybe people usually watch shows.
He's like he remembers, I think, season 1 the most, because like he remembers like those few main guys the most, like Omar, Stringer, Avon, and them he does remember, you know. But like other than that, like I show him, Frank Sabatka. Who was that? literally,
God, must be nice.
He has not, or he's pretending. I don't know. It's one.
No,
of the,
I believe him. I really believe him.
And I remember he said back then, "Oh, each season is very different." I was like, "How? Well, not every season is about the same thing. For example, this is about drugs, and some other is about news, and some." And that part I am 100% sure he said news.
Yeah. Again, that would track. That would make sense. Yeah. Especially considering one was a formal journalist.
Yeah, that would, especially because like I'm just thinking about what the next season can be. And again, I really do believe that it has to have a separate storyline from Marlo and our guys catching him.
Yeah.
And something that can somehow connect to that world.
Yeah.
And that's news actually. So I expect it now. I don't know if it's 100% gonna be the thing, but like I can't think of anything else. So like it's gonna be a thing in my mind.
Yeah, I have nothing else.
Yeah.
It must be nice to be your brother and like not be forever plagued by these children. Imagine being like, oh no, who are they? I feel like if someone like woke me up in 15 years and was like The Wire season 4. I could start crying. Like I feel like I could have. I could still start crying 15 years later.
Yeah, but I mean that's who I am as well. I remember 95% of the episodes from Grey's Anatomy.
I mean that's why you are here.
Exactly.
That's why you're filming. Like I think people. I mean that's why you were here, guys, as well. Exactly. Like I don't think people who don't care about TV are also gonna be here. Listening to other people's
my brother
opinions,
is not
you know
watching us.
Exactly. So like, there are just people who can do that. Like that's good for them.
That's just like to
good for them.
Entertain themselves.
Yeah. No.
And never think about it again.
Yeah. No. I'm like this is gonna ruin me personally. You know, like my personal life.
But with all of that, that's why I don't even think my point was like why we started all this conversation is that I don't think you're gonna cry. Like at the end of season 5 potentially.
I didn't mean about season 5. I was like this review we're gonna have to go through all these things. And like I was like, thank God.
Well, usually we do compose ourselves during the review.
No, but like because like this is that type of a season and Bodie, because you mentioned Bodie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would break down, right? Like I was editing that episode, of course I was. And I was sobbing. I was like pausing it and sobbing. And I feel like I would have sobbed as well, just even having to think about it. But like I'm so emotionally numb at this point from the crying from The Wire still. And then like combined with Attack on Titan, I am just nothing. Like no capacity of tears. Like you mentioned Bodhi's name and my eyes didn't water. You know how that is impressive, which I think is a good thing because like I can at least be able to speak.
Yeah.
And not like I feel it any less. Like I feel heartbroken. Yeah. It's just like the tears are not gonna there's nothing. I feel like dehydrated as a person.
Okay. Let's begin.
From fucking what?
Are we gonna go by the characters?
We could. Because like how did the episode even open up? Like I don't know.
I'm not sure, but like we can talk about, let's say, Bubs.
I mean that is how the episode opened up.
It seems to me as well.
My God.
We can talk about Bubs because like let's say he is not with our children. I think when we start talking about our children, we're gonna talk about them. So like Bubs is a store.
What a way to open the episode, honestly. I mean, it didn't cross my mind necessarily that he's gonna go to police, like, which makes sense perfectly. But like, I did think, again, we mentioned this, like, potential suicide because of the amount of guilt that he feels. And like, we saw the two cops talking something, and like someone said, like, I have a potential case of like hot shots, and like the guy came in, and I was like, Bob's came in. Bob's like admitted to this, and like he was just like there for them to lock him up.
Exactly, of course,
like he wants to carry that.
It's exactly because he feels guilt.
Yeah,
he killed the person that he wanted and tried to take care of and felt like responsible in some ways for him.
Yeah,
you know, and he wanted to help him. At the end, he was the one who killed him, and he even knew he was using drugs. It didn't cross his mind that he's potentially gonna search through Bob's clothes and find the drugs, you know.
Yeah.
and that is very, very tragic.
He also basically, like, there was, you know, self-hatred there, where he was like, he thought he could like help him or whatever, but like, who was I kidding? I was always just like a drug fiend or something, you know.
I mean, he hit the rock bottom. He literally
Like,
hit
I
the
literally
rock
think-
bottom, and he feels the worst that he can possibly feel about himself.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why later he tried to hang himself.
God, like when they entered, like they were
yeah.
talking outside the.
When I thought, when
the-
they
the-
entered
the-
and saw him on the, I
Yeah.
knew he's not gonna die. I knew
Yeah,
that
because like they
from-
made it in time. I
Yeah.
mean, like it just happened. You
It
know,
just
he can
happened,
still
yeah.
be saved, but like it was still such a kind of an unexpected thing when they opened the door. Like they were talking outside about it, and the guy, what is his name?
Jay.
Okay. We didn't know his name, but apparently a lot of people feel very passionate about him. He was feeling sorry for him, and like he can see that he is struggling and he not mean to do this, but like things occur this way.
I mean, it's enough that like he came here willingly, especially because this kid is a drug addict. You can see that like they can just like go and see that he overdosed or something,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
would
again, it was not an
investigated.
intentional. Like it was not an intentional. Babs didn't murder him. You know what I mean? It was not
Yeah.
an intentional thing. Like the kid just took something from Babs and died as a cause of it.
Yeah.
You know, Jay said like basically just like let him go. Like that was
Yeah.
not. He didn't mean to. And like he saw how Babs was just absolutely broken by it. That he said something along the lines of like there is nothing that we can do to like he's gonna feel worse, and there's nothing we can do to like even
Exactly.
make him feel worse. Like he's already in his own prison, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, they sent him to like I don't know what it is then. Is it like a rehabilitation
Yeah, I think that's
center,
it.
something? Like they said something with soft walls, you know. We just had Babs in the beginning and in the end. Like he was not in the episode, like predominantly. I mean, there was not much to say there. Like we then saw him at the end when Kimo was bringing the guy that we do know from season 1. And like I remember vaguely that guy. I think he is the one that was like looking for the, was it his like nephew or something that was on
Yeah.
the street as well.
But he was the one who pushed him and
Yeah.
talked to him about
he was a
getting
former
clean,
drug
and
addict,
he
yeah.
got clean and things like that. And that was the point where Babs really, really wanted to get clean.
Yeah.
You know? And now, the second that Babs saw him, Babs broke down.
Yeah.
Because he realized that like he is failing, and he failed at least in this moment, you know.
Yeah, I mean the guy was
and-
talking of something about like that shame that you
Mhm.
feel and how difficult it is, like shame for like not being, for like relapsing again and again and doing these things, you know. And like it was so awful to see Babs when he came in, and like people said we didn't have the translation for that, and so like, but like we didn't hear it all, but like he said something along the lines of like that he doesn't want to feel anything. And I think they said like right now where he is now completely clean, and so like there's no drugs helping him cope, you know. And like a lot of addicts are gonna take drugs in order to be able to just like get through the day, and like not be in this constant like pain that they feel. And like now Babs has nothing to numb that pain that he feels over what happened with Sherrod. And so like it was a complete rock bottom. It was fucking even worse than rock bottom where I thought we were gonna end up with Babs. And it was just a really awful scene, but I still feel like in a way it was hopeful, like by the appearance of this guy and everything, and like by Bob living and surviving. I think that he is gonna completely change his life around because he has that capacity. He can do it, you know. It's just very difficult to do it. It's very difficult when you don't have the resources to help yourself achieve it.
Yeah.
But like I think this guy can now also help him.
That's what I wanted to say. Like Jay another cop letting him go, and sending him to this rehabilitation center. is at the same time what is gonna help him, at this point in his life, with this guy who has been through all of this.
Yeah, who can understand.
Yeah, because like when you are in the situation that Bob's is, when you're homeless, and have no money or ability to find job or anything else, and you are a drug addict, like it's like, so like even just like getting clean, even if you had home, even if you had resources or like money or whatever, it would be very hard. But like imagine if you don't have any of it.
And it seems near impossible.
Exactly. If you're mentally so down. So like I think he needed somebody's help, and like at this point at least I'm definitely sure that even though I was always sure for his storyline, I just like didn't know how far they're gonna push it. How far they're gonna push it, like how bad can Bob's life be. But yeah, I now definitely think that season 5 is I think it's a good story at the end of the day, very good story to show us how he's gonna what he has been through, how he has failed in his life so much, you know? But like at the end of the day, I definitely think this was a hopeful ending, and his story is gonna continue, and he's gonna get clean. And
I think that's gonna be like, I don't know how dark or light season 5 is gonna be, but like I think that definitely is gonna be like one of the shining moments of the season, especially for a character we have had since the beginning of the show, you know. Honestly, and some seasons more and some seasons less, but like he was there a constant thing.
And honestly, I can't wait to see that. I really, really need that. Because like we have had so many tragedies in this show, and like I understand it, like Bob's is not in the majority of the population who are homeless and addicts. Majority, I don't think majority gets clean. I don't think majority gets second chances, you know. But like I'm happy that we're gonna see that with him. But like we also see so many, like all of the people around him get killed, or died by the drugs, you know, by using or by the world they live in. So honestly, I could not be more excited to see his story. I really think after season 4 we need some hopeful things in season 5. Even in season 4 we had like that, like 1 or 2 moments that like are kind of hopeful, you know. But like the rest was very, very depressing. So honestly, I really need that.
You have to balance it out. Like,
I think we're gonna get it a bit, but like not.
No, like you're not gonna get it fully, because like it is, again, considering like it feels like more of a documentary. Like you're limited on hopeful things that you can get. I
just think it's not gonna be. It can, especially if it's about news. It can be very. We can see a lot of corruption. We can see a lot of negative things. And we can get angry 100 more times during this season. But at the end of the day, it can be even close tragedy as we saw with these children, because like it's not comparable, honestly. Whatever happens, we are gonna continue now with
which, who, where.
Are we gonna continue with the kids? I guess. Yes, I think so.
I guess?
Yes.
Because like everything else connects. Like I can talk about Carcetti, but like I'm not going to talk a lot about it. It just connects again to the kids. And the environment. And like, again, Jimmy connects to Bodie. It's like Bodie separated from the kids. Like he is still our kid, but like he is not a part of the 4 kids. Do we talk about Bodie? That seems like the worst option.
We should leave Bodie for later. Let's talk about Duke.
I don't know what to say. Again, I feel like his story was kind of clear from the get-go. Like there wasn't anything that was like necessarily, let's say, happening with him that was happening with the other kids. You know, it seems like everyone else was getting roped into some type of like problems and everything, and like Dukie's life was just Dukie's life. You know, it was like a constant thing for him, and nothing was surprising. And it is again just one of the one of the kids that gets lost in the system and that has been completely failed by the education system. Like he was transferred from the class where he like does belong in. Like none of these kids, there's not a kid there that should advance to any fucking grade, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is not this type of school, that is not this type of an environment, and especially not for a kid who has found like a teacher and a space that feels good and feels secure, to then just like take him in the middle of a semester and like place him in an unknown environment without any friends, and expect him to just like succeed. Like they have been, you know, it kind of feels like like they said, the game is rigged, but like it's rigged against these kids that are gonna end up in the places where like you expect them to end up, and like it's very difficult to escape those places. And like Duquan had to transfer high schools. I mean, had to transfer to a high school. Like I like for some reason the scene that like I was editing that, and like that was the moment I had to pause. I like that was so. Every time I see his face, he just makes me sad. But like he was sitting and he was like holding a bag, like a New Year's bag to give a gift to Perez.
Mm-hmm.
I like that scene. I hated it. I hated every moment of it, because like here's this kid who like doesn't even have money, doesn't have anything to like, is living day to day trying to figure out how to survive. Like his parents are non-existent, and like he has been
not
kicked
even
out of his.
They stole from him.
Yeah, and like he does not have a house. They were evicted.
Yeah.
And I mean, he went to live with
Michael
and Bug. And here he comes like giving Perez a gift for the table. It was like, it looked like a pen and something. It was like very nice. Like to thank Perez for the things that he has done. And like Perez was like, oh, well, where is your school bag? He's like, I'm gonna pick it up later. But like at that point, he has already like given up on school. Like we saw him walking away.
Yeah, went to high school and didn't felt like he belonged. He just gave up. But like, yeah, I think it made me very emotional to see. That's so sad to me that like after God knows how many years, first it was so hard for him to get find friends, because like everybody bullied him because of the situation that he had home.
Yeah.
And everybody bullied him, and now finally he found a teacher that not only helped him with clothes and a clean shower and things like that, but helped him to feel more confident about himself, gave him something that he'll like to do.
Yeah.
And that inspired him, and he was very happy there.
Yeah.
And it was just without any reason without any real reason taken away from him. And yeah, that thing made me very, very sad.
Yeah, because like again, you see how he is such a good and clever, kind kid who could have, in any different circumstances, have grown up to be just like
anyone who wanted to
whoever, you know. But like he was from the get-go. You are very limited in what you can achieve in this place, you know, and like that is the constant theme of this show is kind of your lack of choices, you know. And like even when you like make a choice or something, like Duquan chose to not go to high school, like you can say it like that, he like turned around, but like that was not a choice, you know, that was just like predetermined by the system that has created them, and that like functions to keep them in this place, that like does not
care for them.
No, that
does not care to help them at all.
No.
Like in the end, we had the scene with Prez, because Prez, I guess, felt what is happening, and he went to see if he's going to school.
Yeah.
And he saw that he's not.
That he's on the street.
That he's on the street, and it seemed like he was buying drugs, right?
Dealing
drugs.
Mm-hmm. Again, like what choice do any of these kids have in this environment? Like we go from the...
Honestly, I thought that scene, I don't remember it correctly, but like I thought that he was buying drugs, and I thought like that was exactly like what we talked about Bubs and how he's gonna end up in the same place like that we.
I mean, I'm sure that he's gonna like. It seems like only a natural progression of things, you know, getting
so,
into drugs. You can just like start taking drugs, you know. And so like I can still imagine, but like in my mind I think he was just like someone approached him and he was like selling the drugs because like what would he even buy drugs with, you know? But like I think because like he is, you know, he's living with Michael and everything, and Michael is in debt now. He is just like went with his circumstances, and that's all of the kids here. Again, I think the season for what it's tackling, the education, like it shows you where it goes wrong from the get-go, you know, like how from the very beginning of their lives, I mean, like even before that, like I think I don't know, I think I read like studies that like the things that happen in your that like your very formative years are the ages of like 2 to 5 or 6, like something very early on, you know. And if you don't have like safe environments or anything like that, you can already be off to a rough start. And then when you get to school and the school already treats you in this manner and makes you, it kind of makes you feel like you are not important, like where do you go from that? Like where do you go? What do you do with that? And so like the whole point again is to show you where it starts to go wrong, just to emphasize how much like all the characters that we have seen prior to these kids were kids once upon a time, and they went to these schools and they were failed by the education system.
I mean, yeah.
And they had nowhere else to turn. They didn't have any like skills to work, because like the environment creates you to become this.
Exactly, and I think in this season they showed it perfectly by balancing many storylines, let's say with these children, with the school, but like also with politics.
Yeah.
Where they showed you how kids fall behind.
Yeah.
How that's much less important thing for the politicians, because kids don't vote.
Yeah.
And to get elected, to get higher up, you need people to vote for you.
Yeah.
And kids are not gonna be that, so they are not anybody's priority, and nobody chooses them.
Yeah.
And we had perfect example in this season.
Yeah, and the kids just grow up to be what you put upon them. Like I think
Exactly.
that's what Bunny said. Like when after he like took the kids for the dinner and everything, and like they were kind of very excited at first to go, and then like they felt like this is not where they belong, because again the environment is molding them to basically end up on the streets at the end of the day. And like he said something along the lines of like these kids kind of not know what they are, but like know what we have placed upon them by this system, by how it works. And now like we can't just like try to pretend like there's something else, like just try to be like, oh, like you're going to this dinner and like it's not a reality. It was like similar to the scene in season 1, I think. I mean, it was only season 1.
Yeah.
When Dee went with his girlfriend to the restaurant, and he was saying something, and now I really forget exactly how it was. I don't know if he was like thinking that everybody is watching him or like judging him, because like he felt like he didn't belong there as well, and was kind of like playing this part, you know?
Yeah,
because he like Dee is a perfect example of one of the kids that we had, maybe more like a Namond type again, because like he
definitely completely like a Namond type. Just
he grew up in the his family is part of the business, you know, and like that is what is expected of him. But I just think it tied everything up just very well together.
Yeah, honestly, I now love. I even remembered at some point that scene with Dee when they were in the restaurant, but like we never mentioned it, so I forget about it. And now when you mentioned it, like it shows you perfectly how similar their situation was.
Yeah.
Dee just wasn't as lucky as Namond is.
Like literally.
Like D is a perfect example how 100%.
Yeah.
What happens with 100% of the kids? Like what happened is Namond, I feel like that just for us.
Yeah.
That was just a nice thing
like
for us because like I don't even think that happens.
A lucky shot for the kid. And like Namond, like if we're gonna look at it from all the rest of our kids, like Namond was the one that had like, let's say, even the most resources out of all of them, just because like he was not living in poverty, you know, he was not living in poverty. So like that in a sense made some things more possible than for other kids, you know. He had different problems.
I feel like he did not live in poverty, but at the same time it was put on him to be that person that maybe school technically didn't make him, and like things like that, but like his mom and his dad did, and there was nothing else that he could have possibly done. And if it wasn't for Bunny, he would be dead in 2 years. And Bunny even said that to Vida, you know, like the luckiest thing that could happen to him if he's in the prison.
Oh my god!
Like nothing else can technically happen to him. And so like I said, like I think he was just one lucky thing that we got. Honestly, that is not realistic, but like I couldn't be more than happy because like I remember since that happened with D and Wallace, we were just hoping for one, and we got exactly one.
That's all.
Honestly, the one,
not too much.
But like honestly, at that point, the one I least expected to get. I don't know why. I really didn't expect to get him when we started the season, because like I said, to me he was like I expected more Randy, maybe like some happy ending for him, or Yuki. I don't know. I expected maybe some happy ending for either one of those two, just because I couldn't see past the fact that he has these two parents who are deep into the game, and his mom who pushed him so much to go on the street. You know, because like for Michael, circumstances is the thing that pushed him. His mom not being able to take care of them, being an addict, you know, not putting her sons on the first place at all. And his little brother and him being in danger from the Bug's father. So that's just like what I wanted to say, that like for each other kids, circumstances is what pushed him. But here his mother, basically through this entire season, we saw scenes and scenes where I was honestly the most angry that like I have ever been. I wanted to get into the TV to punch the woman, honestly. So I did not expect something like that to happen, but I'm so happy that it did.
I think a big part of all of this is of all the problems really anywhere in the world, stems from poverty. Like starting there, everything stems from poverty, and then like you know, it is not accidental that the majority of the like neighborhoods that are in grave poverty are like non-white neighborhoods, you know. And like that from the get-go makes it very difficult to escape, because like if you don't know where your next food is gonna come, you know, and you're young, you're gonna want to find ways to, like, this was Randy, you know, you have to find ways to make money. Like Randy he had a very loving environment with his foster mom. She was a really good mom.
Safe environment.
And so like, and he is still going and like selling candy and getting that money, because like he has like that correlates with his like sense of security that he doesn't have, you know, and he's going and doing that, earning money, making money, because like, I mean, you know, what kid thinks like when I was a kid, I was never thinking about like, oh, let me go and earn some money, you know, I was like, oh, sure, candy, you know, but like for Randy, that is like a survival thing, you know, because like he was in group homes and everything, he keeps doing that. because he had nothing. And so I just think poverty also in the season played a very large role.
I mean, I think
like the
generally
socio-economical
whole show.
Yeah, I mean the socio-economical standings of everyone just plays a very huge part in where they end up and how they end up. But like, let's continue with Namond because we started that that bit. Like, we saw Bunny going to Dennis in the hospital, and like asking him a favor, like Carver made an introduction or whatever, and like I wasn't quite sure what was the favor that he was like asking for.
Honestly.
And then you see that he asked to speak with Weebay, and like you immediately know where that is gonna go. Like, he is asking him to, like, I don't know, there's like papers to sign for guardianship or something like that needed to be signed by the parents to give.
Because we found out before that, so that like if you want to foster a child, you need,
of course, it makes sense,
papers and things like that, and like it can take up to 2-3 months or something, 4 months. So like he needed to speed up the process in that manner. But like, it's not also only that, it's the fact that like he has a parent, he has a mom who takes care of him, so they
sure, so let's say takes care of him.
Exactly, so they need their permission to for him to take care of Namond.
That was one of my favorite scenes of the episode. When he went to speak to Weebay, because like we all know my opinion of Weebay, and like that does not change still by like, you know, a good moment from him. Like, he is who he is, but I appreciate the complexity of it. But like, he was listening to Bunny, who told him how smart and capable Namond is, and how he can really be anything, giving the right environment and circumstances. Like, again, much like all of these kids could be something incredible.
Much like Weebay when he was a child. Yeah. Because yes, absolutely. We all know our opinions on Weebay, but like, again, nobody's born to be an evil child, you know? Mm-mm. So like, we all know how he potentially ended up where he ended up, and how he's now in prison, you know? And yes, like, my opinion doesn't change, meaning like he still did the things that he did. Yeah.
But he is just realistic about it. He's like, he is here, he is serving his time, and he said to his wife later on, like, basically, that was my favorite moment, when he said like if he could be any, or if you can be anything you want to be, who would like choose this? Exactly. Like, who would choose to be here?
Exactly.
You know, but like, there was not a choice for him either. Like, there was not a choice for Avon. There was not a choice for Stringer. Like, there was not a choice for any of them, really.
But like, I am
to end up where they ended up.
Happy, very happy that he managed to put his child first in that moment, in the first place, and decided that like, maybe potentially this can help his child, that he has no reason to not allow that from happening.
Yeah, and like, I think Bunny just like made a very compelling point, you know, also about how the streets are no longer the streets that they knew, and he just really managed to convince him. And I think, again, the thing that Weebay just like did get from that is that maybe his kid could have a different path, and that is not where he is.
Exactly, not end up in the same place that he is.
Yeah, or that.
As you all know, I couldn't be more happy about that. Honestly, that was one of the things that like I really wanted to happen. Yeah. And at the end, we had a scene with Namond where he's, I don't know, doing his homework or eating outside.
He was literally like having breakfast and doing homework, and like the most peaceful, normal scene.
And then he wanted to get in, and his foster mom told him to get his plate or something like that.
He's not used to like these just like house rules.
Like,
and
that's
norms.
that's the thing that he has to think about, you know. And he got up to take his plate and things like that, and next to his house passed the
kid that always steals the cars. The same one.
And that was his past life that was passing beside him, and he afterwards we had a scene where he just looked around the neighborhood that was just like very quiet. Peaceful. There was no crime happening on that corner. There was no dealing. There was nothing like that.
Yeah, and it was
Like
just a
his
crossroad.
exactly, his life like is completely changed in this moment.
And like he got his happy ending, and I could not be happier
And
about that.
He couldn't have a better people for influence, honestly, to
My
look
God.
up to, because let me just tell you, Bunny, in this season, I think even more than in the previous one.
Yeah.
Because it's different
Because
somehow.
it has kids, it's always more
exactly,
important to me.
and it's not really his job.
Yeah.
And he cares.
Yeah.
In the last season, we saw he cared, and
because like you could see from the previous season what type of person he is, and
Exactly.
like that was the best person, like legitimately the best person.
But
that you can have.
after this season, I think he's one of my favorite characters, honestly. Because like
Yeah.
after the previous one, I thought he's one of the best characters, and like I really appreciated what he did and how he thought, and I was very happy to see somebody from police. That has that type of opinion, and I love that he was the one who influenced Carver a lot. So like that was very important to me as well.
Yeah.
But after this season and after what he did for these children, and what he tried to do, and how like when we saw how much he cares, yes. I honestly like he's definitely one of my favorite characters. Like they're on top in this show.
I mean, I think also what this show, and I mean, especially this season, has shown us, again, combining with the politics, you can see how, again, because the system is so very cruel and unmoving, because like the people in it also just like are succumb to their circumstances and their need for power, which we'll get to the Karkeri a bit later, and they like do nothing, and constantly the people that make differences are just individuals who like try to do the most they can. Individuals like Bunny and Dennis and the priest that we have seen that I think is like real life Avon, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so,
which is very interesting to me always. Like those are the characters in this show that have made most difference, just like individual people trying their best, because like the system does not care about you, and so like you have to take care of each other. Like you have to care about each other, and those were like Perez as well. Like those were the only people that made differences. Again, like someone like Bunny influencing Carver, and Carver in that regard just like becoming a decent fucking human, and trying his best to do the right thing and to help. And like he was not able to help Randy, but maybe he's gonna be able to help another kid at some point.
For the first thing, he's not gonna beat up on these kids, and he's gonna try to actually do something and do his job, which is completely different than what he did before with Herc. And that is exactly to show you how important it is that like you can influence a life only of one person. Because like that person can influence the others or do some good things that can help the others. And like that is as important as influencing 50 people. Or things like that, you know, because like maybe you can't change system, maybe you can't change anything that big. But like if you did what Bunny did, like influenced one person, that's more than enough. That's very important in my opinion.
And I just again I love that because it is just realistic. Like no one is expecting anything.
Exactly.
I like at no point was I looking at Karkeri and expecting anything. Like I know people are like we were rough on him, but like we were
exactly right.
I mean, like where like legitimately like what can you exactly say
from the start
and, like,
until the
knew,
finish?
yes, and like that's why I like whenever you see that he has right intentions or whatever. And like again, I don't think he is like an evil guy or anything like that. And like I see that he has his heart in the right place in moments, whatever, when he is saying these things. But I am just thinking, like, I don't have the capacity to care about you and like your problems when I know when it comes to it. Like when it comes to it, you're gonna succumb to your nature of selfishness. For your own benefit. And you can just like frame it as in I could help people more if I have a higher role. But like let's stop lying to ourselves, you know.
Exactly.
And like that was always who his character was gonna be. And like I feel like the show, I don't even know if the show like made it clear, or just like by the way that show was constantly written. You're not gonna give me a politician who is like gonna
change the world.
Yeah, like actually be like, well, no, let me try to change what I can change now. Even if I don't get reelected, I have this power now. So let me do the most I can, however minimal maybe it
How
is.
often does that actually happen?
No,
And
no.
like we said millions of times, this show
They
seems
said
like a
they always
documentary.
disappoint you.
Yeah, but
like that was also one of my favorite lines there. Like when he was talking to his advisor for like the Kirketti's guy. And he was like, is this your first day on the job? Like, they always disappoint.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it always happens. They do. I have not, like, in my lifetime, I have yet to see a politician that has not disappointed me. I have never voted for anyone, and I have always voted against someone. I have always, like, voted for the lesser evil. I have never voted for someone. You know, that's fucking sad. I'm like, this is horrible, but this one is worse. You know? And those are always my options. I have not to this day had an option.
Yeah, so
you know?
there is no way that the show like this.
Yeah, I was not gonna be like a politician. Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
Trying his best. I don't think so. The people that are always trying their best, were just regular people.
Yeah.
Were people who maybe even have gone through these things.
But like that is a realistic scenario here. That like that is what I love about the show. That they're not gonna show some unrealistic scenario and hopeful ending, but they're gonna show you characters like Bunny or the priest or things like that who are actually the ones who are actually doing something.
Yeah.
And caring about their community and these people.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about Randy a bit because we talked about Carver, so...
That was somehow worse than I thought it was gonna be. Not like, this is where I thought it was gonna end up, you know? But just like seeing it happen...
I agree. That was the worst one for me.
The worst one.
Honestly, I agree with you. That was the worst one for me. It just somehow... Even though we said what we said about him and what is gonna happen about him...
Maybe I do have tears left.
Because like for Michael, everything that I expected to happen happened.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
Yeah.
And I was kind of prepared for that.
Yeah.
And with Randy, like I can't say I was hoping for something more, but like I really did not expect to see how difficult his life is gonna be. Like I thought I was just gonna have to imagine that. I honestly thought, because like they mentioned millions of times before, the girl who cut the other girl's face, that she's in a group home and like that it's very difficult to be there and that like very...
I mean, you can only imagine when that girl, like this one was being rude to her, and that like her immediate instinct is to start like cutting up her face. Like that is not a normal thing, and like that does not again say anything about her. Like it is not a thing, oh, she was like born a psychopath or something like that. No, it's just like the environment that she is in is so unsafe and cruel that like the way that she is gonna react is gonna be so violent, you know? It just makes you feel very sad and hopeless.
Yeah, but like I honestly expected this season to end for Randy, to just like see him going into a group home.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, and you can, if that was it, like I feel like I would be the person who would be like, oh, I'm gonna imagine that like he somehow
found friends, had a nice time,
or somehow Carver helped him and he got an up on the...
Can someone tell me why Carver did not just start the process so that you can get him in 4 months? Like, just get him in 4 months whenever you can get him. Just like why did you not let me think like he just needs to pull out for those 4 months? You know, again, like that was not a point in the story. I know everything, but like it was just so hard to see this.
But that meant a lot to me, because that moment when Carver said, can I foster him or something like that, because you see how much he got attached to them,
and like he feels guilty,
and he feels guilty for not being able to protect him, and for basically even putting a danger on him from the first place. And you can see that this child is a good child. He was just unlucky in life, you know. And but I was like, you can just see the growth in Carver's character there.
Yeah.
And the fact that he would want to do something like that to help one child.
Yeah. And he was really trying. He was really trying his best, and like he kept calling people left and right. One of the moments that just like really, that was the moment where like, oh, see again, like there really might be tears in me. When he is like trying so desperately to like call anyone, and like Randy is just sitting there like such a child, and he said something like, "I have like $250," and Carver is like, so. And he said, well, like maybe we can bribe someone with that, like to bring his spot up, which is like, again, he's such a child, like $250, like he's not gonna bribe anything, you know. That part, that was another part where I just had to pause and like walk around when I was editing that, like that really, like that desperateness just got to me. Like it was so awful.
Yes, but then like again, he tried so much because of the guilt that he felt, and because he gotten to care for this kid who was so unlucky in life. But like, what about the rest? Why would he be up on that list?
Of course, like you can't like
the rest.
Other kids also are waiting. We just happen to know this kid.
Exactly, we just happen to know this one. But like the rest is the same. The rest were also unlucky. The rest are also in those groups home having horrible time, horrible life. You know.
How do you fail kids in so many ways? How is this possible? Like I cannot believe that there's anything that takes priority. Like I cannot believe what type of world we live in where like kids, children who like made no choice of their own are unsafe. Like children who have to go in group homes are still not being taken care of, when there's all these systems and loopholes to go through. How is it possible? Like I just really, like it shocks me. So he brought him to the group home. And like another
you said that it crossed your mind, that you thought about it, but honestly it did not cross my mind at all.
Oh yeah, that I was like,
such a shocking part for me.
Yeah.
When we saw that they wrote snitch on his bed, that was the moment when I realized how horrible, and that we're gonna actually see that, honestly. And that was like, honestly, I got shocked for a second there, because like somehow for some unapparent reason I didn't think we were gonna watch that. And then afterwards we saw a few boys who came in and beat him up. And that's where his story fucking ends.
Like that's where we left him off.
That's where we left his story. Somehow he was the worst one. That's fascinating to me.
I don't know. He felt the worst out of all of them. Like I thought immediately, like in this world, the worst thing you can be is kind of a snitch, you know. And like you don't even need to have context on it. You don't need to have anything. I mean, kids are gonna find ways to like bully each other over anything, because like all of them, especially in group homes, are hurting for some reason or another, you know. And like it is the most perfect environment for like these violent outbursts from kids who are forced into this place, you know. And so like I was kind of just waiting. I was like hoping maybe you don't show it to me, just because like make it easier for me. Poor me. But
it was basically
I really was expecting that. But like right before he was like taking him to the group home was another scene that just like I just remember in that moment I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. I was like, what do I stop it? Do I stop the show? Do we stop just watching this? I can't go on anymore. When he was like, it's fine. When Randy was like trying to comfort Carver, because like Carver was trying so hard and he was not managing to do it, and he was like, thank you for trying. Like I know you tried. Like a child who was going to this group home, like comforting Carver, and like Carver then went into his car. And it was just it was just like what everyone was feeling. He was like, he was so mad, and there was such sadness and like guilt again for not being able to help the kid. Like even though you tried, and like he was just like punching the steering wheel. And like someone said, I didn't even notice that. Because like first he like punched once and then he just like went non-stop, but like someone said that it was like the mirror. He punched the mirror to not look at himself. And that felt like I really like as if it's like a good thing, but like it makes sense that he doesn't want to look at himself. Like because he feels all that guilt and sadness about things that have occurred. And like Carver was really one of the standouts in this season for me. Like again, we talked about this in season 3. There were some glimmers in Carver's storyline.
I mean, I feel like they
especially
were
with connection with Bunny. Yeah, and like him talking about the kids that were runners who were not getting paid, and he was like, he was caring about those kids as well. And like I think, you know, Bunny's in a way like harnessed that to a bigger extent, whereas now Carver is constantly around kids and trying his best, you know. And I just really I don't know what his storyline is gonna be in season 5. Like I don't think, like if we're gonna get into the newsroom and we're not gonna have kids, like I don't know how important of a storyline he is gonna have there. I mean, he doesn't need to have it, because like I think they have really set such a great story with him, and they have really given his character, I think, depth,
so much depth,
and like you see the potential of people like changing and learning and growing.
Exactly, and him helping other people potentially change and grow and inspire and things like that. So his story next to Bunny's and next to Prez were one of my favorite stories, definitely, of this season. So of all the kids, were now and Michael. I mean, another tragedy. Another fucking tragedy. Michael's story ended up being exactly what you
could see it from a fucking mile away, you know?
And I feel like we kind of prepare ourselves. Like, you can never be prepared, really, you know? But like everything that we expected to happen kind of happened. And I don't know how much we're gonna have him in season 5. I think we will, definitely. I think he's the only
I mean, again,
kid
I don't know if it's gonna be just like in passing or something like that. I don't know how important of I feel like they foreshadowed something. I don't know, it kind of left me feeling uneasy a bit when Marlo asked him about this ring that he has now, that he took from the cop, and the cop took it from Omar took it from Marlo, and like he was curious about the ring, and I don't know, like to me that was, I don't know why, I don't know in what way, but I was like fearing for Michael from Marlo. I don't know why. I just like it left me feeling like it left me with a bad feeling. But I just always have bad feelings with Marlo, so I don't know.
I'm not sure. To me, it felt more like that Marlo sees something in him.
Oh, okay.
It left me like that because like he asked him and Michael said, I took it from some guy or something like that, very casually, which is the truth, and Marlo knows it's the truth. I don't think he thinks that he's working with Omar or he has anything to do with Omar.
Thinking that. Like I can't even have like a logistical explanation. Like just the way that Marlo asked it left me feeling uneasy. But yes, maybe it was just like potential of Michael or something.
Because in my mind, what it felt, because like Marlo remembers the ring. It's not unnoticeable, you know, and it now ended up on Michael, you know. So like I would say that he could see some potential in him because of that. That's how at least felt to me in that moment. I don't know, we'll see about that.
I mean, I guess we'll find out in what capacity he's gonna be in season 5, but I think that's
I think he will
kind of the only kid that I expect to see now.
But like I think, because like I don't think again his storyline ends any way positively. I think it ends tragically, and we're just gonna continue seeing him in the game. Like I don't know where he's gonna end up, if he's gonna end up in prison or if Chris is gonna go to jail at some point or die, so like Michael is gonna take that place of the charge, you know. I just don't expect it to be in any positive light.
Yeah.
So like that's how I see his storyline in season 5, because now they gone to the next step of him killing a person. That's what he saw in the last episode, and God, how terrified I guess we both were that he's potentially gonna be the one who kills
it
Bodie.
Crossed my mind in the episode
Yeah,
when I
you said
realized
that.
they're gonna kill Bodie, and I was like.
And they
like,
were talking
is it
in the
gonna
same
be
time about Michael killing somebody.
Because I was like, is this gonna be like a full circle moment because Bodie killed Wallace and now another kid is killing Bodie? Like, it would have made sense.
Thank
but
God
I was like,
it did.
please, for the love of God, you need to
Literally.
stop this. Like, you need to stop doing this to me.
Yeah.
And then, like, we, you know, Chris, in a way, I think kind of, like, maybe protected Michael a bit there, being, like, the first person he killed should be someone that he doesn't know. Like, that not to make it worse
especially
for him.
because, like, he maybe looked up to or worked for Bodie or things like that. So, like, it shouldn't be anybody connected to him.
Yeah, and then we saw the kid that ended up shooting Bodie. It was, I think, you know, it was the other one that they were training to shoot. Like, he's also very young, it seems to me, you know, but, like, another, like, type of Michael character there who ended up shooting Bodie. But, like, I was just thankful that it was not Michael, because, like, I really can't, like, I mean, he ended up killing one guy at the end anyway, you know, like, that was a kind of a giving to becoming. But I was like, you don't need it to make it Bodie. Like, you really don't need it to make it Bodie to not hurt me more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Michael, again, just the product of his circumstances and his environment that he absolutely had no control over. Like, he was abused by an adult and not protected as a kid, and then, like, these people have taken care of him by killing the person that has harmed him, and so now he feels in a way connected to them in, like, this messed up way, you know, and is becoming one of them.
I agree, yeah. But, like, all that also makes me sad for his little brother.
Yeah.
As well, we had a scene with Duquan walking around the house, and Michael was, I think, having sex with some girl or things like that, and he walked past his room, and the next room was Bug's room.
Yeah.
Where he was sleeping and things like that, and like that, just like, because, like, it's in order to protect Bugs, to save him from his father, he put him again in a different situation, but also a dangerous situation, because again
he's still growing up in these, like, in this environment.
Exactly.
Like, you have a scene where Marlo and Chris and Snoop are coming into the house while Bugs is having breakfast, you know, like, he is surrounded by these people. He is in this environment, and that is not a safe environment for him. And I mean, nothing here was a safe environment for Michael, but, like, he protected Bugs.
Anyway, he knew how.
Yeah,
but,
he
like,
protected
again,
Bugs
he
from the
put
things that
him,
happened to him.
He put him in a different danger, in a different life.
Yeah.
And again, another kid that is gonna be affected by the environment that he grows up in.
And we had the scene also after he killed the guy. We had a scene where Chris was telling him, now you can look them in the eye. Like, no matter what they did to you or anything like that, now you can look them in the eye. Because, like, he was always having trouble looking that monster in the eye, because of, like, what he did to him. And again, I think it's a nod to Chris having gone through this in some type of way. Like, we still don't know, like, exactly, if we don't need to, like, nothing needs to be, like, cleared. But, like, I thought that was I must say, like, good scene, but that was a horrible scene. That was, like, a really horrible scene. Again, just, like, to be like, Chris was someone maybe like Michael. When he was younger, and now they're both growing up to be this, and it just leaves you feeling hopeless.
Exactly.
Which, like,
I was about to say depressed, but, like, and then we had I mean, the most emotional part, the worst part of the whole episode, which is Bodie. And again, something that we were so scared of happening throughout since season 1, basically. Because this show showed you that, like, how hard it is on kids, and where their lives lead to,
Yeah.
And honestly, Bodie is definitely one of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah.
And the one we had from the start, one of our first children. It again makes it as a good story.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have gone any other way.
Yeah.
But I am happy with the way, satisfied again, with the way that they have done.
I mean, I think it was very well done. Like there was some type of like honor that he was given, by the way that he died, by making his final stand, by choosing this.
Exactly, but also by the scene that he had with Jimmy as well. Yeah. That is also one of my favorite scenes in that episode, and their conversation.
No, that scene's gonna haunt me. that scene's gonna haunt me. It's gonna be like really one of my like from the entirety of the show, that is gonna be one of the scenes that I remember most. His conversation with Jimmy, like starting when he says how old he feels, and like he is a kid. You know what I mean? He is a child.
But he grew up in this world.
Yeah, and so like he does feel old, and he is coming to that, let's say, age, I think, when a lot of them do die. Mm-hmm. Because like a lot of these corner kids, that's what they ask, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, whatever? Like you raise your hand to say like dead. Like that is your life expectancy. That is where you're at. You think you're gonna end up. And so like in those terms, Bodie is like old and like about to die. Because he has lived here on the street, and the game was from the beginning just rigged against him. Yeah. And I mean rigged against all of them. They referenced again the scene in season 1 when Dee was teaching them chess, and that always felt like a really important scene, and they like did like a callback to it about all of them just being pawns. And just like not being able to do anything else, move up any further, become anyone else. Like they were just this. And this was like all he could be.
But then Jimmy told him that he's a soldier.
Yeah. I like the whole scene was so fucking sad. And like, that, and he was like talking about, like Jimmy was trying to like kind of get him to be an informant. So that they would get something on Marlo. Because like he could see how emotional Bodie was when they got little Kevin. Little Kevin's body.
Because that's his friend.
Yeah. And so like he can see that maybe he can get to him by saying that like Marlo is more cruel than like Avon and Stringer were.
Because Bodie grew up on the street, and he learned from the people around him how that game is played, let's say.
Yeah.
And by those rules, Marlo is not the one who is playing by those rules.
Yeah.
In his eyes, Marlo is not killing if somebody is snitch.
Yeah.
He's killing just because he can.
Yeah, like we know that.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, again, I don't like Stringer and Avon. Like they killed Wallace also for the thought of potentially he could be a snitch, Exactly. Like there was like there's nothing like I however much I now like Avon and everything in his story, like they were awful. Marlo is still more awful. Marlo is like psychopathic. Like Marlo killed had the security guard killed just because. Just because he looked at him or something. Like Marlo is psychopathic. That's what I'm gonna say.
In those situations with little Kevin and Wallace, you can't really. I can see how Bodie sees the difference, but like I can't really say that there is much difference there. But with other things, I could definitely see the difference between at least Avon and Marlo.
I mean, I think Marlo noticed that more than Avon. I think Avon noticed that from the start more than anyone else. Like that's why I don't think Joe necessarily even knows who he is dealing with, because like Avon from the get-go was like, we need to take him out and he is a problem. And no one else wanted to do that. I think like when he realized that Marlo like went and killed that girl, like shot
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
2 times
Yeah.
in the chest,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
each breast, and 1 time in her mouth, like so cruelly. And he was
Mm.
like, he didn't need to do that basically, but like he went and did that, and that just told him so much about his
Who Marlo is as a
character
person,
and
yeah.
how cruel he can be.
Yeah.
And like he is really just awfully cruel.
Awful.
Like really there is such lack of emotions in his eyes. Like that's why he terrifies me more than anyone terrified me. Like Avon and Stringer never did. Jimmy wanted to get him to be an informant against Marlo, and Bodie kind of like said like that he is not a snitch and that he stands by his people. Like he is not gonna give up his friends, and he is not gonna give up any of the Barksdale crew, because like that's who he is like still loyal to.
Yeah.
But Marlo, he has to go.
Yeah.
Like Marlo
Yeah.
has to go, and Bodie sort of, I think in that moment accepted this to like die. Like accepted that like I know what can await me by doing this.
Yeah.
But like this needs to happen. Like he made a choice, and then he stood his ground. And so like when it came to it, when they came at him, he just did not run.
He did not run from his corner.
And he did
and
not.
that is very sad to me, but like that is I just think the show did perfectly.
Yeah.
That he's maybe a pawn, but that's what he's been doing his whole life.
Yeah.
Like dealing on that corner.
Yeah.
And he would never run from it.
And he would not let them like kill him and put them in that vacant.
Yeah.
He would not let them do that. Like he was standing there, stood his ground, like took one last look at Poot, who was like begging him to leave.
Yeah.
Because like they're the last two. Like they're the last of the kids we had in season 1. And like he couldn't go. And Poot just ran away, and he still stood his ground. Like he stood there, he stood tall.
So honestly, that's the reason why even though I think it's very sad, it's very tragic, but like it is also very realistic. But at the same time, it is the best story that kid like Bodie, who has lived the life that he has lived, could have gotten.
Yeah.
So honestly, I am more than satisfied with the way that he has died.
Oh,
like I couldn't have even imagined the better.
Yeah, someone pointed it out, and like I didn't know, I didn't pick up on that. But like that, the way that he was shooting and who he was shooting at was always like on the sides, as like pawns move on the chessboard. Pawns to like kill you, just like
to
go.
kill bullseye.
Yeah, to like eat you, just go like that. I thought that was like a very cool detail.
Yeah.
That like I would have never noticed myself.
Of course not.
That would not have been a thing to me.
Until somebody who worked on the show would say something like that, I would not be.
Like I'm impressed that other people have picked up on that. I like really that's
exactly.
That is very smart. And so yeah, he stood there and he died. And like I don't know, I was not prepared. I went into that episode, like we saw before playing the episode, we saw the picture in the episode was fucking Bodie.
Yeah.
And like that already gives you bad feelings.
Yeah.
But I was like throughout the episode, not even joking, I was like, please let Omar die.
Really?
I was like, please let Omar die. I can't do Bodie. Like I can't do Bodie. Give me Omar. I will survive it. I can manage that much, because like we have gone into this thinking like either one or the other dies. I think there were like premonitions for either one of them. And like as the episode was going, and I feel like as it was becoming more clear that it's Bodie, I was like just praying more and more that it's Omar. I was like because Bodie would be the worst one for me. Like I knew from the get-go that all the deaths that can happen in this show, Bodie was gonna harm me the most. Because like I knew from these 4 kids at some point it became clear that like none of them are gonna die. That's not the story that they're gonna tell
with them.
Yeah. And so like Bodie was always gonna be my worst option. And like I could take anyone's death except for his.
Definitely, like with Omar, I still think he's gonna die, but
Absolutely.
like that's gonna be completely different feeling because of the life that he has led at this point where he is right now. Honestly, I agree with you. For me, Bodie as well would have been the worst, but again, kind of thought that since the first first episode, first scene that we have saw him, we always thought that he's gonna be the one who dies.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, of all the people that have died in this show, he's that I am happy with the way that they made it. You know, they put so much respect to him, and not only him, to the other soldiers that are stuck in this world and broken by the system.
Yeah, and like when you think about it, he did everything right.
Exactly.
Like for the world that he lives in, for like this fucking game, he was just, he did everything how it should have been done, and he still died. Like that's why he did. The game is rigged. But like, I mean, the game is just a fucking game. It's just like made to keep you where you're at.
Yeah.
Like to pretend like there is this type of game and some type of like rules of it. It's just nothing there.
Yeah.
And so, he died. And I was like, great. Like, I mean, that was it. Like, you can't hurt me more.
That's
like,
what
past
I
this season,
say.
you cannot hurt me more. Even if, like, nothing.
Like,
Omar can die. It's gonna hurt me. Nothing can hurt me more
again,
than the entirety of
depending on
413.
where his story goes and how it goes. I still think Omar is a great character, and I would love to have, if he dies, to at least has a good death. You know. But like I couldn't
Which
have
means
asked.
not Marlo.
Yes, but like I couldn't have asked anything more for Bodie's character. But like that's why I'm saying, like, whatever season 5 is, in my opinion, it can't be that painful.
Nothing.
Can get us mad. It can get us happy when they catch Marlo or things like that. It can get us frustrating with many situations. But like technically, I don't think it can hurt us pretty much. I'm gonna maybe eat my words, but like I can't see it really.
No, you can't. Like I think season 4 was the worst. Like there's nothing.
Exactly.
Like there's not gonna be children. You can't hurt me more. Like this was the one thing that could have always hurt us and hurt us most as kids, and we have done that.
Yeah.
And like now I am made of steel. Now there you can't touch me.
Yeah.
But like I'm sure they're gonna get Marlo. Like I'm sure Marlo is either gonna die or get arrested, one or the other. But like the circle keeps going, you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of what was happening in this season and what you were seeing was so many like changes. Like they kept saying it's a new dawn, it's a new day. Like Carcetti is the new mayor. Things are different, things are changing. We don't have like Avon, we now have Marlo. A lot of the things were like replaced for something new, and yet everything stayed the same. Like they keep saying, even the police department are gonna do things a different way. Everything is gonna be the fucking same. You're not doing anything in a new way. Everything is still gonna go exactly like this show has aged well. Like well, you know, you could make this today.
Could be a documentary in 2023.
Again, like there is like it's so sad. It's so sad that I'm not sitting here watching and be like, I cannot believe. I mean, I still say I can't believe.
In those days,
still I can't believe. But like, I wish this felt more like a fantasy. Like I wish this felt like an unrealistic show, and yet like it doesn't. Yet like it's always it's a constant. It's a constant thing, and like I think again, this season is just the most important of this show and of anything, because it tells you the root problem. It addresses the root problem, it addresses where everything goes wrong, and it addresses how the system just keeps
failing.
Yeah, it keeps failing. I mean, it's not failing. This is what it's intended for. You know, the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. And like you put them in these situations, the system is not made to help people. You know, like one of you guys linked like something about homelessness, which is also like, I think throughout the show we see so many things being built, like so many complexes, apartments keep getting built, and like the homelessness is still like at an all-time high. I think, I don't know, I can't remember the numbers about like specifically Baltimore, someone linked it. But like there is, let's say maybe like 15,000 people living on the street, and there's like 100,000 plus vacant lots. That is ridiculous. Like, you know, like what, the system wants to help people? Where? Like where does that exist? The system is not built for that. The system is built by and for the rich, and that is just what it has always been. Like, you know, the American dream is really ironic. It is not a thing that exists. Not in the circumstances in where these kids are. You know, not there.
Yeah.
Like, an American dream is possible if you have grown up in a relatively safe, happy environment where you could have some type of like opportunity. And the American dream is a nightmare for everyone else because like it is built on the backs of other people. And I just think again, that's why this show and this season is so important, because like these are not things that either one of us knows. Like we live on a different continent in a predominantly white country. Like we don't know these struggles that people go through. And like I think the power of TV, and especially the power of The Wire, just because it is so important, is to give you that understanding and to make you be able to empathize with people that like you have no like correlation with, like you live in different worlds. I kind of think it's everyone's duty to know these things and to like, even if you don't live them and don't know anyone who lives like that, you need to be able to, you need to read, you need to see, because you need to know.
Be able to empathize with other people.
Yeah. Oh.
And understand the struggles that other people go through.
Yeah, like maybe not your own struggles,
and
but
also
like,
without judgment.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of, again, like why this show has been like so very important, and this is like where you guys also come in. I just really love the people that watch this show with us, because everyone is, or most are very empathetic, and like you have linked, especially one person, it's like Space, hi Space, I don't know your name, but Space, just like a lot of things to connect to this story about the school system and about poverty, and like you just keep reading all of this to be able to just understand and know what other people are going through, and like how those people then turn out to be people like, you know, Avon, Stringer, Marlo, whoever you want.
Yeah.
I just think that's a very important thing to do as people. And I think the show gives you all that. All that ability. And it's like one of the reasons why I really just hold this show in high regard, in much higher regard than anything else we have watched, just because of the importance that it holds,
and the story that it tells
just perfectly. And so like I want to see what season 5 can bring. I can understand that like excited. Why we have like seen the peak, like really we have seen the peak, like there you can go.
I mean, I saw a lot of people praising season 5, but again, I think the stories, whichever one it is, it's gonna be completely different than the ones that we have seen.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, especially this last season.
Yeah.
That wanted to tell us, but like the entire show in general.
Yeah.
But like we have watched, if it's about news, we have watched few shows about newsroom.
Yeah, I think all those shows are see this. This is the most fictional show to have ever existed. This is like the West Wing about politics. Like it's a lie. Like I feel like Game of Thrones was more realistic, you know, than just like, oh, a group of politicians that care. That is not a thing.
Exactly.
Like they're not perfect, like they make mistakes, but like they're like, you see that they care about people.
And now we're gonna watch something completely the opposite of that, which is something that does happen, and with the way that it does look in real life. Yeah. So honestly, are you excited?
No. Never. The fuck do we mean?
It's not over. We still have another season to go, and we
Can't
plan to watch first episode right now.
We need to stop. We have been talking for an hour and 40 minutes.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.